Well, hello guys, and welcome to episode 30 of Boulder County, USA. And we're just about a quarter way through the month already. It's the 8th of December. And we're going to wrap up season 1 here pretty soon and start with season 2 probably in a couple months. But I've kept my promise. I had my camera broken. It's a long story. A couple weeks ago, I guess about a month ago. And it was totally finally shot. So I got a really good deal online, and so here's my new Canon. It's actually better than my last one. And it's good not to have the camera with all that shaking, because that bothered me, so I know it bothered you. But I've always gone to war with the army I have, as they say. I like to have 3 cameras. Right now I'm really down to 1 working camera, but this one qualifies for camera 1. And the one I was using, since my Rebel was broken on my birthday back in 2017, I guess it was, that one was camera 1. This was a fantastic camera, so I hope you really enjoy the better shots we're going to get with this. Right now we're looking at Buena High School on the east end of Sierra Vista. We're going to do the grand tour today. I just took you down to Veterans Park. Let me show you that. Okay guys, we're here in Sierra Vista, Arizona, and I just happened to come across this in Veterans Memorial Park. And I guess my question is, you guys look like Jedi Masters or something, but I don't think you guys have the light sticks, do you? You have these kind.
We have boppers. Yeah, these are called boppers.
Boppers.
Basically, it's like homemade Nerf.
And what is the name of the club here?
Amped Card.
Amped Card.
Amped Card.
Hey, got it. Okay, great. Well,
our local group is Wyvern's Roost. We meet here every Saturday from noon to 4, and we are a historical reenactment and fantasy LARP. So everyone gets to play anything from a healer to a mage to a scout, and we form battle games and fight against each other such as we're about to have a battle game of capture the flag. So the 2 points will go against each other in attempting to capture the other opposing team's flag, with swords, shields, and bow and arrows occasionally.
And people say that there's nothing to do in Sierra Vista. Well, you guys just proved that one wrong. So do you guys have a Facebook page?
We do. If they look up Wyvern's Roost, I believe it also.
Can you spell it for me? Takes all kinds.
Yes, Wyvern's Roost. W-Y-V-E-R-N''S and then Roost, R-O-O-S-T.
Well, I'll do that. I actually looked that up today. Like I say, this will be on a weekly series I do called Boulder County, USA, and you guys are my first stars here today. We're going to cut up through Tombstone and St. David next, but you guys are the stars of Sierra Vista today, so congratulations. And thank you very much for spending some time to talk to me today. If you guys are interested, please do check out this group. They look like a lot of fun. And thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it. Any last words?
No, come out, swing some foam with us sometime.
Sling some bone. All right, man. Thanks a lot for the time. Appreciate it. And somehow my phone's ringing, so let's see who this is. Hello? St. Mary's Prayer Center Ministry, calling to see if I need urgent prayer. Well, probably so, but I go to St. Andrew's church every week, so I get my prayer there. But thank you guys for offering. What else? We just hit up the park, saw some interesting stuff there, so I'll insert that here. And then after that, we're going to swing out to Tombstone real quick, and then to St. David. And our next stop on a very, very busy Charleston highway coming out of Sierra Vista will be Tombstone, Arizona. Sierra Vista is actually over this hill. You can see Sierra Vista most of the way up here, but when you get on the other side of the hill, all you can really see is Tombstone. But that's the whole town right there. So on this trip, since we've covered Tombstone before, we're just going to kind of pass through, and then we'll hit Boot Hill on the north side. We're kind of looking to the northeast right now. Well, here we are in Tombstone on the main drag, so it may get a little bit noisy here. We're at Wyatt Earp's Old Town, and most of the stuff looks pretty 1800s. I did notice on the backside though they do have an air conditioner, a wall unit that's plugged into the back of the facility here, and so I don't think that Wyatt Earp had that. But the rest of this looks pretty legit as original. And ladies and gentlemen, we're on Middlemarch Road, and what you're looking at right now is pretty much all of Tombstone. We have the high school with all the solar arrays here to the left, and that's just about it. That mountain in the background there is where they were mining out of back in the 1800s. We've already passed Boot Hill. There really isn't much to see there. Interestingly enough, there is a Jewish cemetery there as well. And here's some of the expansion out of town. But that's about it. You can almost see Sierra Vista past those mountains, but not quite. And here we're going up this way to a town called St. David. No bull, guys. This is a little place called Curtis Flats. I've always wanted the NASA guys to, or the private rocket guys to try to set up a launch site out here. It would be overland, but of course Haystack over in California at Edwards Air Force Base was also set up for overland. It can be done, and there's really no better place to actually do that than right out here. Just wide open. Some of this is actually horses and cows, and you can kind of see them all together here. But I've always encouraged the private rocket companies to come out here. They actually have a gas plant very close to here. And here we have some cows and some horses, just kind of all hanging out together by the watering hole. Hi baby, how you doing? Where's your horns? There's a little female and a couple horses here, really beautiful. Hi baby, come here. How you doing? Gotta see you guys later. You're just jealous one, aren't you? And I've said it before, guys, this little place called Curtis Flats would really be great for rocket launches. It really would. They may display some cows and some things like that, but they got plenty of other places out here to go, including to the supermarket. But yeah, they actually have a gas plant out here somewhere really close to here. So there's your liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen for you right there. And here, ladies and gentlemen, is the Benedictine Monastery of St. David. It's just south of town, maybe around 6th Street, within the city limits, but still, the way to actually, I used to find this place was either by the what do they call those things? NBC. The birds that all flower out. Peacocks. They actually have a lot of those up here. They're hiding today. And there used to be a sign out front saying pecans. Well, this place used to actually be run by Benedictine friars, actually monks, out of Italy. And a couple of years ago, the superior back in Italy just ordered them all to come back or go out of the town and do something else. So as far as the monastery, it kind of closed, but the buildings are still here. There's still a lot of people who live here, and so here's the cross in the background It's actually pretty large. I'm pretty far away from it. We'll get up there later. Here we have the Trinity Bird Sanctuary. It's just the old chapel. And I think you can actually walk in there, right? Is it open?
Yeah.
But the monks from Italy, they're all gone, right?
There's 2 left.
There's 2 left? Well, that's great. My middle name is Benedict, so I kind of like that.
There you go.
But a lot of Celtic design here, as you can tell. Dedicated 1981. Silence. Prayer schedule 7:15 through 4 o'clock, and Friday they have Vespers, Saturday same. They actually have Mass here at 10:30 on Sunday. As it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. So that's the chapel. They're actually doing some things up here, which helps explain some of the cars. I think we lost our light in there. But it is a very beautiful chapel. And I did notice back here behind the chapel are some gravestones. So let's go see who's over there. And there's 2 monks that are still here, they said. That's great. The holdouts. The no parlo Italiano. So here we have Brother Sean Edward, died in 2014. A civilian. Actually not. OSB, died in 2014. Thomas Sean Keating, died in 2011. Another OSB, which means Benedict. Aguin Hamasi, OSB, died in 2001. We're not sure who that one is. Cornine Lucille Fryer, OSB, died in 2011. Father, not brother, but father, Luis B. Hassinfus, OSB, died in 2000. OSB, Oblate Rossman. We got 2 of them here, Olive and Robert. Robert died in 2017, and Olive died in 2009. Patricia Blanchard, MIC, died in 1997, and Carol Firth, OSB, died in 1996. So there you have it, guys. Now we're going to roll over to the cross area, which is really very cool. They actually have like a gift store over there. So it's still an active chapel. And this is a working farm. They actually, like I said, they do a lot of raising of pecans, and they do a lot of farm work down here. These guys just don't sit around with the rosary. They actually work their butt off down here and keep the grounds very beautiful, as you can tell. And here's a little, they pump the water out of the pond and bring it up here, and it rolls back to the pond. One thing about Cochise County, I always say over and over again, is this has probably the most diverse set of towns I've ever seen in my life. And I have talked about, that is Our Lady of Guadalupe Chapel. We have talked a lot about Sierra Vista, Douglas, Wilcox, Benson, Mescal, the major towns. But one thing we really miss a lot of talking about would be the smaller towns, the minor towns, I guess you would call them, like this one. And you can see how big this cross is, because that is a full story building down here at the base, and it goes way up. Like I said, this is an active farm area, and people actually live out in these houses here still. I guess maybe you can climb a rope to the top or something on the inside. That is the ground floor, and it goes all the way up there. There's one of my babies. How you doing? You guys have been hiding on me. Let's see you ruffle your feathers for me. Come on, you can do it. Just a beautiful bird, though. Kind of shy. Almost. Come on, let's do it. He's hiding under the tree. Okay, have your ear away, my friend. And guys, I'm doing this about every week now, and I'll keep doing it. Drink, yes. Drive, yes. Drink and drive, hell no. So I'm going to show you this car up here. It's been rolled about 6 times. From Texas, even got the Lone Star State tag still on it. That wasn't the jaws of life, except for maybe the back door. No airbag deployed, which is interesting. So yeah, it can happen to you. It can happen to somebody else that doesn't deserve it. Don't drink and drive. Enough said. That's Benson up there. Benson was opened up about, I think about 1880, St. David, a couple years earlier. Now, a lot of these missionaries actually started these towns that all begin with San or Saint. And St. David, 6 miles back that way, is no exception. Benson's got a name, I guess, after a guy, or I don't know who Benson's named after, but I do know it's growing pretty soon, pretty fast, but not in this area, but up on the hill on 90. You got San Francisco, San Diego, San Juan, you name it, San Antonio, all sorts of missionary names for towns. So the missionaries started it, and I guess the atheists finished it. But there we are here in St. David's northern end, about 6 miles north, up in Benson. And we'll take you to some odd places here. It's really built on unsettled ground. I'm really surprised they even got a town here. But one good earthquake and all these houses are just gonna fall over. It's really not built on very sturdy material. Any way you look at it. 3, 2, 1, and we're rolling. And guys, you know I'm a big fan of the Salvation Army. We all know that number 4 of the Dallas Cowboys got a personal foul for jumping into the red kettle at home a couple weeks ago, and they still won. 15 yards for that. Can you believe that? But you guys know that there's a Salvation Army down in Sierra Vista, and as a retired Navy guy, for 2 weeks I couldn't make ends meet. I went down there, they hooked me up. And so I threw 40 bucks into the kettle already. And I hope everybody else does the same. But here they have something unique in Benson. These girls can sing. Show us what you got. 1, 2, 3, hit it!
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin, mother and child.
One of you's out of tune, I can tell you.
It's me.
Sounds great, thank you.
Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace.
Perfect, y'all. I really appreciate that. This is something new for me. I've never seen them sing outside. It's just the bell, but that's really good, guys.
All right.
And once again, thanks very much for being in Boulder County, USA, episode 30, and it'll be up on YouTube and Facebook tomorrow night, later on TV. Really appreciate you guys showing up. All right.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Like I said before, Benson is a very old town, more than about 150 years old, I guess, by now. 200, I guess. And this part, like I said, is pretty much all built out. But up this way, they will be building a lot of new buildings here in Benson, up by US 90 here real soon. So there'll be houses all over the place out here, guys. And here we are up on the west end of Benson, and like I said, anybody who already owns land up here, Made Bank, this will all be new development up here. We're up by State Road 90, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's really going to drain the water supply. Here you can see the water tank up here that actually serves Benson, and that's most of Benson down there. But like I said, there's not really going to be a lot of expansion down here. But I guarantee all these dirt roads are going to disappear, and they're going to have a whole lot of new pavement and new houses and that kind of thing up here. From what I hear, they're going to try to build a like a senior retirement place or something. But it's going to be a lot of houses, a lot of drain on water, and what I'm really hoping is that they build side roads up here and not really mess with 90 too much with lights and stuff. I hope they just have a couple turnoffs and then side roads parallel to 90 where those people can get to their house and back and stuff like that. I imagine there'll be a couple more new lights, but that's about it. It's kind of a fun town, but like I said, it's built on very, very precarious land. And down there you can see I-10, and I've just bypassed all that. So I just took the back roads up to 90, and now I'm heading down to Huachuca City. So like I said before, this is all going to be houses pretty soon. We're at the SSVEC substation up here in Benson, where I think Eric Peterman works. He used to be a reporter for the Herald Review out of Sierra Vista. It's just after 5 o'clock here, and I think in a couple hours here, a U.S.A. Delta IV Heavy, capable of lifting 62,500 pounds into orbit, which is why they call it heavy, will be taking off from Vandenberg, and I really hope to get a glimpse of that tonight when it happens. Otherwise, just heading down to Huachuca City and expecting for a twilight down there when I get there. Well, kind of noisy out here, but this is one of my favorite places in Cochise County. It's simply known as mile marker 301 on State Road 90. And out there in the distance is Huachuca City. You can see the lights coming on at Fort Huachuca, and Sierra Vista is behind that. And behind that, of course, is my lovely Huachuca Range, which is pretty much all in view right there. And what I did earlier today was I basically went to the east side of Sierra Vista, cut across something called Charleston Road, which took us up near Tombstone, and then through Tombstone, which is right up there. You can kind of see Tombstone from here. From there, we turned north and went up to St. David, which is up here, and then went up to Benson. And from Benson, we're going back down on State Road 90 South into Sierra Vista, Arizona. And I had to do this little detour up here. It's on State Road 82, just a couple miles, if even that, west of State Road 90. It's called the Good Shepherd Catholic Mission, and the priests from my home church come up here every Saturday night and service the people here of Whetstone area, and that's really awesome of them. And I've been up here many times. Last time was about a year ago, and we'll just come up here and show you around. And there's already somebody here ready to go to church. It's just like an old hangar or something, an old feed store, who knows. It was bought and converted. It's really a nice place. And so come on up here. Father Greg, Father Marco, and Father Rob kind of take turns saying the Mass up here on Saturday nights. And what a beautiful sunset this is. And here comes the second car. That's mine. Really a kind of nifty place here, though, and really nice of these guys. They also do some church services down at the cross down off of Ash Canyon at the Our Lady of the Sierras Shrine. But believe it or not, this place is really pretty packed here on Saturday night by 6:30, so I'm just kind of here early. And I don't know if that's really a cross or one of those Huachuca antennas. And so all the lights are off right now. But that's it. And that's really the sacristy right there. And the church is right there. Everything's off right now, but like I say, this place will be very lit up here in about an hour. Well, we got the very new moon coming up, so it should be a really good night here tonight to watch the U.S.A. Delta IV launch out of Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. And here we are back here in Sierra Vista, Arizona, right after the new moon. I'm very close to my house, so you may be able to hear the church bells ringing in the background. My church. Anyways, it looks like a very good night tonight at 8:30 p.m. That will be California time. That'll be 9:30 our time, or I guess about 9:07 for a launch of ULA rocket out of Vandenberg Air Force Base, California. We should be able to see it from here just fine, so keep your eyes peeled and look to the west. About 9:30 tonight, you'll be able to see a rocket take off out of California. Ought to be very interesting. Thanks once again, guys, for watching episode 30 of Border County, USA. And like I said, it's really nice to have a nice camera back. So let's keep it safe, and let's keep it away from the poll workers. God bless.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We should have ignition. 4, 3. Hold.
Page 181.